Hello. So, I would like to introduce three people that I would like to invite to a dinner party if I could. A little bit about them, why I'm inviting them, and what I think they would bring. So, the first one is Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou she grew up in the South, um, dealt with a ton of adversity and even atrocities when she was younger that were committed on her, but lots of adversity, lots of racism, lots of sexism growing up. Um, was from the South and went on kind of from this very like dirt poor family situation to becoming one of the most widely known speakers and teachers of all time. Best friends with Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, as you can imagine. What is this lady not seen? So I would like to invite her if I had a dinner party, and I would love to hear about what a different world she grew up in and how she was such a big part of that bridge that led from that world to the world we live in now, and being one of the people who fought absolutely the hardest alongside so many others to give us the opportunities and the rights that we have today, whether it be as women or as African Americans or as people in general. I mean, she just fought for people in general. And, humans' rights, civil rights, women's rights. I mean, that was what Maya dedicated her life to. She was a poet, she wrote many books, and I would like to bring her to a dinner party to say thank you for everything she did and how she helped form the world that I have the opportunity to live in today. The second would be my grandmother. My grandmother, Frances Fox, grew up also, in poverty and Depression era baby and stuff like that. And she, from a very young age, was a caretaker. She cared for her sisters and her brothers and her parents when they needed it in the house and the property. She married very young. She always cared for my grandpa a lot. She went to nursing school very young, became a nurse. She nursed all the way into her retirement. She retired from Tacoma General. After she retired as a nurse, she actually continued to volunteer as a nurse, all until she needed to be cared for herself. She adopted 3 children, all from adverse situations, and cared for them and raised them with all the love in the world. And I am I'm a child of one of those children that she chose to adopt, and so lucky because of that. And I would like to bring her to the party to share with us a little bit about how one can just apply all these different life lessons that you inevitably gain through trial and tribulation, and how you can kind of make lemonade out of lemons and build a really good life for yourself, and what it means to really be a caretaker, and what it means to be responsible for another human in that way. I think she could shed some light on what that means for anyone. And my last person would be Buddha, and I just cannot imagine I think spiritually I have a really, really wide perspective and just kind of am like really open in that way. But I specifically chose Buddha as somebody that I would like to have dinner with, because I think one of the most attractive things about Buddha, or what we know about him, or Buddhist scriptures and things like that, is that the answers are never these hidden things, or these, very sacred things kept for special holy people. It's realistic, holistic, very graspable, tangible ideas around living a life where you're not suffering more than you need to, and then being willing to help others carry their suffering when it's absolutely necessary and when it can't be avoided. Some suffering can be avoided and some cannot. Suffering is just part of a human condition, and those ideas and that perspective, I think, does cause you to be such a grounded and grateful human being that I could definitely use more of that, and I think could also benefit anyone else, especially at a dinner party. I think that Buddha would be super relatable, very humble, and would just be an amazing person to meet, or anyone even similar to that. So, yeah, those are my 3 people that I would like to invite, and those are the reasons why. And I hope you enjoyed this video.